Hi everyone, my name's Donna. I'm the owner here at Bookkeeping Made Simple. Today I want to talk about moving the needle. And what I mean by that, I talked yesterday about compliance issues, how to fix the pain in your business. And the number one pain in most small business is compliance. It is, did I get all my tax returns filed? Is my income tax up to date? Have I sent out 1099s and W-2s? Are my payroll compliant? That's all part of being compliant. Okay. Now, for smaller businesses, of course, the compliance requirements are different than they are for large corporations, particularly if they're publicly traded. Publicly traded companies have more compliance issues than smaller companies, and corporations have different compliance issues than non-corporations. So there's a lot of different things we look into about compliance. But today I want to talk about what comes in after your business is fully compliant. Once you've gotten the tax returns resolved, you've got your bookkeeping handled, you know what's going on in your business, I hope. We're going to talk about that. So accounting and bookkeepers can help you with the compliance pain. But then the next section is to work on moving the needle. And what I mean by that is to see how you're the most profitable. Where can you find more profit in your business? Where can you work less hard and make more money? You do have to work hard. Let me start off by saying I'm not a big believer in the overnight success. It takes about 20 years to be an overnight success on average. There's a lot of kind of career capital you have to build up. To use Cal Newport's example. But there's also a lot you can do to increase your profitability. And it's going to depend, it's going to vary business by business. Even within the same industry, it's going to vary business by business. So, but the very first thing we want to look at is we want to look at the profit and loss. And I am going to do a later video about how to read your profit and loss, how to read your balance sheet, and how to read your statement of cash flows. These are the big three of accounting. And we're going to talk more about budgeting, or creating a spending plan for your business so that you know in advance where your money is going. This is all part of moving the needle, by the way. Once you know where you are, you know you can start to look and see where you need to expend your effort to increase your profitability the most. So the very first thing we want to do is we want to know that our clients can read the reports. That's why I'm going to be doing some videos on that. The next thing we want to do is we want to talk to them about getting meaningful insights from these reports. Anybody can look at a report and go, oh yeah, that's what the bottom line says, and this is what the balance sheet says, but what does that mean? Okay, so I want your reports to be meaningful to you. I want you to be able to look at them and be able to make decisions about your business based on the reports that we provide you. If you are on QuickBooks Online, those reports will be available to you in QuickBooks Online. And when I do the video on reading them, I'll show you how to retrieve them. But the most detailed report we can give you means nothing if it doesn't make sense to you. If you don't have the education, and this is, by the way, it's not a dig. It took me a couple of years to get my degree, and in that time, I actually had whole classes on how to read these reports. So I always laugh and I say, don't feel like you should be able to just glance at it and understand it. There's a lot that goes into it, and I'm going to share quite a bit of that with you. But this is where the rubber really meets the road. This is where we want to start making sure that you're profitable in your business. So what you want to do then is you want to use your accountant to help you understand your reports to the point that you are then able to make meaningful decisions, thoughtful decisions about your business. They may be horrible decisions. I don't know. They could be the best decisions. They could be the worst decisions, but at least you will have the information in front of you to make informed decisions. So we do stay on top of everything that's going on. An example over the past 2 years, of course, is the payroll protection program. We wanted to make sure that we knew about what was going on in that program so that we could educate our clients and direct them to the people that could help them the most as far as PPP loans or EIDL grants. Of course, now the money is mostly run out of that, but we spent some time investigating those disaster loans. And as life goes on, there will be other times when many of our clients are going to have issues come up that are going to require help from an accounting standpoint. Now, the number one thing I want to do as your accountant, and I want my staff to do as well, is to make sure you can read your reports and then to talk to you about what this means. If you have a huge expenditure in marketing, for example, or advertising, and very little sales, then we want to either help you with your marketing or we want to put you in contact with someone who can help you with your marketing. But we certainly want to point out to you that, maybe the advertising you're doing is not being effective. What can we do to help? What direction do we want this to go? We may want to give you referrals for other professional services from business attorneys. We have a couple of business attorneys that we work with, to retirement planning. I have a retirement planning professional that I work with, that I've even referred my kids to her. That's how much I trust her. But we really want to start talking to you at this point about your goals and the directions you want to take your business. If your goal is just to stay in business for another year, that's great. We want to make sure that you can meet that. If your goal is to build a multi-billion-dollar company that you trade on the stock exchange, you want to become publicly traded, that's great too. We want to help you achieve your goals. But there's two things we need to know from the beginning to be able to help you. One is, where do you want to go? And the other one is, where are you now? And that is, where are you now? We can help you with that. But then we also want to talk to you about where you want to go. Do you want to build a business that you leave to your children? You should always have an exit plan, by the way. Whether it is to sell it, close it, leave it to your kids, there should be an exit plan in place. Even if you're 19 years old and starting your very first business, you should have an exit plan, and you should have a very thorough understanding of your business. So regardless of what it is that you're doing, think ahead to, do you want to sell? Do you want to leave it to your kids? Do you want to hire a board and a CEO to run it for you at a later point, so that you can enjoy some residual income? There's a lot of things that can be done with the business, but you do need to begin with the end in mind. Also, I just cannot emphasize enough, it takes a lot of hard work to run a business. It is very stressful. Just from all the things that just have to be done. It is very rewarding, but there's a lot of stress that goes into that. So begin with the end in mind is really what I want to say. And then start working backwards from there. If you decide you want to retire in 10 years, how much money do you need to retire? And what do we need to do to help you achieve that goal? If I can look at your books, I can usually start to give some pretty good advice right off the bat about where your money should be going. Money is a finite resource. Certainly the amount of money in my bank account is a finite resource. So I want to make sure that the money that I have is going to help me reach my goals. And I really want the same thing for my clients. I have a wonderful client that we just signed on not too long ago. I spent quite a bit of time going over her reports with her, and then discussing with her ways that she could start to inch towards meeting her goals. Not tomorrow, of course, and it's going to take her some time. But we started talking about, do I need to get her in touch with a marketing professional that I know is good, maybe one that I've worked with and I've had good results from. These are the kinds of people that I do refer people to. By the way, if I've worked with someone and I have gotten to know them and I know that they're good at their job, that's when I start referring people to them. I don't just pull a business card out of my back pocket. These are people that I know personally and that I know will take care of my clients. So This is, by the way, is part of having a CFO, or Chief Financial Officer. The Chief Financial Officer works directly with the owner, the CEO, to talk about what do we need to do next financially to move the business forward towards the goals that you have. This is going to vary, again, by business, because every business owner has a little bit of a different goal. A young business owner, time is on their side. Maybe they decide that they want to make X number of dollars and they just want to be self-employed and they don't want to bring on extra people to help. But an older business owner might make different decisions because time's not really on their side anymore. So we want to talk to them a lot about that. And this, again, is part of the CFO service. This is where we teach you how to financially run your business and how to use your reports in such a way that your business grows. Okay, too many of my clients receive their reports, they don't even look at them. I have clients that run multi-million-dollar businesses, don't even look at their reports. How they run these huge businesses without knowing where they are, I don't know. I think they run it off of the, well, I have money in the bank, so it must be okay. It doesn't always work. It works for one of my clients, but it doesn't always work. And it can be very challenging to learn how to read the reports and then to learn how to make good decisions based on those reports. We use a lot of financial ratios. When I analyze financials, I start using some of these ratios that help business owners understand where they are. Do you have enough money in the bank, for example, to cover 6 months of liability payments? Is your income such that you're going to be able to meet your obligations? That's some of the things that we're looking at as we look at the ratios. How quickly are you turning over accounts receivable? When I worked for the hospital back east, we called those AR days. In other words, we wanted those to be as small as possible. If we could get them down to 14 days in accounts receivable or AR, we were thrilled. Okay, that's really what we were aiming for. In other words, from the time the patient came into the hospital and generated a bill, from the time the invoice was generated till the time it was paid by the insurance companies, we wanted that to be 14 days or less. Now, once it got to the patient, then it became a little bit more challenging. But we wanted the insurance companies to get us paid as quickly as possible. The reason for that, by the way, is because the sooner you get your AR collected, the better. Once things sit for a long period of time, it becomes harder and harder to collect on them. Okay, now we don't do collections here, but we do a lot of analysis and preparing. So we will do things like I'll send letters on behalf of a client. I might even make a phone call on behalf of a client, but I don't do any hard collections. It's just not part of my business model. But we do want to talk to you. If we start to see a lot in accounts receivable, we want to know why. Particularly if you run a cash-only business. A lot of restaurants should never have money in accounts receivable, ever. They should basically be on the cash basis. Contractors might have a long time in accounts receivable. Again, everything really depends on your business. There is no one size fits all, but I do want to talk, if you are interested in having us help you grow your business, move that needle more towards closer to your goals, let us know. We have MBAs, MBA candidates, masters in accounting. We have people that have the education and the skills and knowledge and the career capital to be able to help you grow your business. So that is it for right now. If you are interested in having me be the CFO for your company or a member of my staff, please reach out to us at 801-692-0032. We are in the office from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, Mountain Time. And we're looking forward to helping you help your business grow.